Imagine being a company that has faced the product distribution struggles of your clients finding dead rats, Band-Aids, condoms, maggots, and other terrible substances in your product. Now, the same company also has a net worth of $61.95 billion, has 36,000 outlets around the world that serves over 70 million clients a day, and is also ranked number 9 in the top 10 richest companies in the world. Does anybody have any idea what company I could be talking about? If you thought McDonald's, you are correct. McDonald's success is amazing considering what a low-quality product it produces. Now, it's able to be so iconic because of a marketing genius. By utilizing strategies like Ronald McDonald, they're able to appeal to kids, which makes them able to appeal to family, which is the largest marketing group in the nation. I chose this example because I think that it shows how the power of marketing can make millions off a subpar product. Now this got me thinking, if such a low-quality product can produce such high-quality results, why can't a high-quality product produce the same amount of results? Hello, my name is Eden Bohannon, and I believe in producing success and high-quality products. This somewhat leads me to a quote I'd like to share, which is, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I've heard many stories of companies succeeding because of their all-in attitude, which is an attitude I hope to have as I work on creating my company. Last year in ISM for my final product, I created a marketing template for an idea I had to improve the sales, the efficiency of the sales process. Now, in order to start this company, I've had to meet with many people, change my ideas up a lot, but I've always had this attitude that if I believe I can do something, I can achieve it. This year, I plan to originally go into studying marketing for internet technology-based companies because I thought that I could take those strategies and apply it to my idea. But once I interviewed my mentor, which is Stacy Good, who is the director of marketing for the Dallas Cowboys, I realized what a cool person she was, what a cool environment it was, and decided I'd give the sports side of marketing a chance. In our mentor visits, we've focused a lot on my original work. We actually came up with the idea together, and every time I'd visit, she'd give me some homework to do and give me some critiques on the homework she'd given before. It's also been really cool to strategize with the different people she works with. She has an intern right now, as well as another marketing director she works with on a pretty consistent basis. So when I get there, we all get to get our creative juices flowing, pitch some ideas to each other. So it's really cool to work in that working environment. I've also been able to see the benefits of working for a large sport organization like the Dallas Cowboys, and I know that if the internet technology company doesn't work out, I'll definitely follow this career path. Another informational interview I conducted was with Donna Denley, who works for Alchemy Technology. She stressed the importance of upholding brand standards. So whether it's a pin for a trade show or a t-shirt, everything that the company produces needs to uphold with the company's standards. She also stressed the importance of being able to juggle multiple tasks all at once, just because, especially with Alchemy, it's a growing company. She's had to do a lot of things that are outside of her job title, so to say. So being able to handle everything is really important in being a marketing director or just a marketing agent in general. I also met with Mina Sin, who works with Dr. Pepper Snapple Group. I loved my interview with her just because she was so passionate. As soon as I walked in, she handed me a huge marketing book that had all the strategies Dr. Pepper has been using, and I was able to use that a lot when creating my original work. She also said it's important to know who your target audience is. So for a big company like Dr. Pepper Snapple Group, they have the subcategories of Dr. Pepper, Snapple, Mott's applesauce. So knowing how to target each audience and how to appeal or to give out the bait to the fish you want to catch is the analogy she used, is really important. Another interview I had was with Nima Patel. I actually got her contact from Natalie Peenan, who I'll talk about in a minute. But the reputation she had among her colleagues was so admirable, and it's one that I strive to one day have amongst my colleagues. Not only did Natalie have a lot of great things to say about her, but as soon as I walked into where she works, I was just kind of sitting in the common area, and I had at least 3 people walk up to me, ask me what I was doing, and as soon as I mentioned her name, they were like, "Oh, she's the girl for you. She's so awesome. She's so reliable. She's so hardworking." They just had glowing things to say about her, and that's what I hope to one day have in my work environment. Mina said that experience trumps education, but that education is important. So being able to have those internships in college is very important, to have things on your resume that show that you know what you're doing. And I actually met up with her again later on down the road for coffee, and we discussed my final product from last year. She gave me a lot of great feedback, even introduced me to her husband who works for a sales company, and he was able to give me a lot of feedback as well, so that's definitely a connection that I will keep for a long time. Lastly, I want to discuss my interview with Natalie Peenan. She was really down to earth, very fun to interview as well. She also said that it's important to get that experience in college, those internships while you can. And she gave me a different perspective because she was also a director of marketing, so she gave me the leadership perspective, saying that in order to be a good leader, I have to be able to bring everybody together and get people to want to reach the same goal. And that made me realize that marketing is not an individual career, it's working with others, being collaborative, creative, and so you have to have a certain personality type to be in that field, which is something that I'll take into consideration as I pursue it. Next, I want to talk about the research aspect of my ISM journey and share a little quote that I found, which is, research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought, which is a concept we've definitely been taught in ISM, to just not only regurgitate what we've learned, but to take what we've learned and apply it to the big picture. We've also had the opportunity to have a lot of hands-on research experiences. For example, our trip to UNT was amazing because I got to go to the campus for a day, attend 3 classes. I attended the personality class, the marketing basics class, and the sales class. And not only did I learn a lot of important information in those classes, but I was able to experience what college is going to be like next year, what I should expect from my teachers, from my classes, etc. Another great research opportunity we had was the Business Symposium, which is an event ISM hosts every year where all the students get together and are put in different rooms with random professionals they've never met before. And they conduct mock interviews, they network, strike up conversations. So not only is it great skills to learn for life, but I also walked away with probably over 15 new contacts and a lot of important connections that I'll use in my future. For example, one guy I met, I ended up meeting later to discuss Deal Drop, which was my final product from last year, and he surprised me by bringing the president of the Frisco Chamber of Commerce with him, and so we got to sit down and talk a little bit, and he offered to give me any contacts I need ever to do anything he can to help start up my company, so that's obviously a great connection to have. Lastly, I want to discuss social media marketing, just because I relied a lot on it for my original work, and just knowing the demographics of the different media outlets like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and that kind of leads into my original work. This year I worked, as I said before, with Stacy, who works for the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys actually just opened a couple months ago the Stadium Club, which is a sports bar that's attached to AT&T Stadium where they play their games. And the marketing team's goal this year has been to increase the traffic flow at the Stadium Club throughout the week, but also on weekends. So we kind of narrowed down my target for my original work to the Texas Tech alumni group, getting them to bring their alumni group on Saturdays to watch Texas Tech football games. And kind of fill it up, be the revenue for that Saturday, but also increase their loyalty so they'll be coming back throughout the week. This involved creating a lot of strategies. So one strategy that I didn't necessarily come up with but was kind of inspired by is like the Remind 101 text. So when I go to Cantina Laredo, my family goes there all the time, so we kind of sign up with their promotional text where they send out free guacamole for tonight for a family of 4. So while they're losing the money for the free guacamole, they're also gaining 4 full meals for 4 people, which is a great way to get people in and incentivize them to come to the Stadium Club over, let's say, Buffalo Wild Wings or somewhere else. I also had to do a lot of research, not just on the demographics of the social media, but also on the specifics of where other sports bars were, what they offered, how far away they were, what direction they were, like very specific research. It took me a long time, but it was worth it because we were able to see who our fiercest competitors were and were able to incentivize the alumni group by saying what we could have that the other sports bars didn't. I also created mock-up Photoshop pictures to kind of show them what the customized experience for Texas Tech would be. So, for example, the games would be playing on all the TVs. They'd have signs, they'd have koozies, customized table toppers, etc. So we just kind of created that visual representation for what that would look like for them. For my final product, which is coming up sooner than we think, me and my mentor have decided that we're going to take all the strategies and the marketing outline and everything I've done for my original work and apply it to internet technology and my company. That's always been a huge goal of mine, and a dream of mine is to pursue that company and be successful, which leads me into a final quote I'd like to share, which is, we may place blame, give reasons, and even have excuses, but in the end, it is an act of cowardice not to follow your dreams, by Dr. Steve Maraboli. And I think that this applies to life in general and how I hope to, what I hope to pursue in my life. And thank you everybody for listening.